Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to a connoisseur's conversation. Today, we're going to dive into a fragrance I'm eager to get out to you guys. This is one for this connoisseur's conversation. I want to talk about a flanker fragrance from the house of Les Indémodables, and it is one of their coveted fragrances. This is Vanille Havane Coeur De Oud. Coeur De Oud is translated to Heart of Oud, and what they've done is taken a really hard look at how to use a very rare piece of oud that they got procured from the brand's owner, from a friend of hers in, I believe, Oman. And they used this particular oud to create one of the better fragrances in their collection, no doubt, but actually one of the better oud smells that I've had to come across in a long time when it comes to the actual distinctive smell of pure oud. This is a fragrance that I think many of you have gotten on your radar because we are all fans of the house of Les Indémodables for the fragrance Vanille Havane. So I'm going to talk about a little bit how it does reflect off the original fragrance, how the new one comes about. We're going to talk about sillage, we're going to talk about projection, we're going to talk about scent profile, we're going to talk about the actual presentation, the impression it makes, and we're also going to talk about wearability and seasonality and give a full dry down rating and breakdown of this particular scent. So if this sounds like the type of content you think that you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. As I stated, we're going to dive into a beautiful fragrance from the house of Les Indémodables. This is a scent from the house Coeur De Oud, Vanille Havane, the new flanker to their brand, a limited edition of 500 bottles. We're going to talk about some of the best perfumery that Antoine Lai has done, who is the master perfumer behind this. This to me is one of those scents that very much so explores the deepest corners of human nature. It is a scent that has a very good bridge of communicating our true inner emotions, and for me, that's the type of scent that I want to pull out. That's the type of scent that I want to invest in, and that's the type of scent that I have done with the actual scent of Vanille Havane Coeur De Oud. I'll show you a brief presentation outlook. I did put this on my actual short, so if you want to see the full presentation as the bottle comes out. It's a sleeved box, cardboard box. They did go to a specific Swiss company to have this particular presentation made. I would have thought that it would have used a lacquer box for something this presentation and cost-wise, but it's not a bad box at all. Like I said, the sleeve has all of the things necessary for compliance. The actual box top comes off of there, another cardboard piece, and it unfolds as, let me see, that's what I'm talking about, because actually that's a knock, because the actual piece has come unglued. So that's something that you don't expect from a $460 bottle of perfume. So there you go. I'm not going to outtake that. That's actually happened. So what you have next is the actual box comes and unfolds, and it has all of the notes that were brought about for the actual scent, how they procured it, how they made it, how they elevated the oud, how they distinctively distilled this one with the CO2 extract, I believe, or the CO2 distillation. So you see that there's just blurbs from the company, how to communicate what this scent was and how special it is. So you'll see how I will give this a knock as a presentation just for that happening in this particular box. The glue should have never come loose in that one, so I won't take that out. Put that back together. And that's kind of I'm glad you guys saw that. The company needs to be aware of that as well. So the actual bottle, the bottle comes with a number presentation. I got number 203 of 500. They let you print your name and whatever signifier you want on the bottle and cap. The actual new company logo, the way I stated, it's like a logo or a banner that they place on it, is silver now versus the actual painted white. As you can see there, it's painted white on the original bottle. This is the difference in presentation. The actual top of the scent is chrome instead of the painted presentation as well. So this one's all about the chrome usage, and this one was the painted usage. As you can see, two distinctive color differences in the actual original versus the new bottle of Coeur De Oud. It's a bit more viscous in the Coeur De Oud as well, as I've noticed on my skin when I spray it. So let's get into the scent profile of what Coeur De Oud does. This is the alchemy of this particular scent is beautiful, man. This is one, if you are used to smelling the actual fragrance of Vanille Havane, I'll spray just a little bit because it is an expensive fragrance. If you are used to smelling Vanille Havane, the way that the oud in this one, it envelops and cloaks itself over Vanille Havane. If you are a fan of Vanille Havane, take Vanille Havane. It's one of the best chocolate, tobacco, earthy, resinous, smoky, sweet, and seductive fragrances. And you love what oud does. This oud here is one that is very evergreen. It's very camphorous. It takes hints of this very lush rose, floral rose to it, and it's a lot of a peppered and powdery leather compound to it. So it has all these facets that they've added to it. Distinctively, I'm feeling coming from that oud accord. It's a very traditional smell of the Vanille Havane, that sexiness, like I stated, the overall, the jasmine that I get from it. It may not state it, but I get a nice indolic jasmine inside of Vanille Havane. It's sexy, it's sweet, it's floral. It has those components of the chocolate, like I stated. The tobacco is one of the best on the market. And with this coming in and creating such a beautiful veil over that particular scent, it's elevated it to such a point that I think that this is going to be, I would say, somewhat of a classic perfume in the vein of things like Musk Ravageur, how people have clamored to get to that one and have stated how intriguing, how sexy, how the components really meld together, how the scent profile is a beautiful weave on your skin, how it comes across, the evolution is just wonderful. It goes on, like I stated, that sweet, almost green, camphorous, evergreen smell of oud. It's slightly dank, it's very leathery, it's almost skanky in a little bit, the way oud comes off that barnyard smell, but just on the cusp of it. Not very, it's just on the cusp. It's not reaching into it, but it's just on the cusp of it. And for those of you who are asking, is it worth it for the oud? I'll say this, if they had done any more, if they had put any more oud in this, it would be an overkill. It would not smell good. This is just on the border of just perfect. It's not something, how Antoine Lai put this together, the oud component is exactly where it needs to be. It shows enough of its face value. It has the oud in it that they want to portray as a very distinctive and old and you know, something that comes from a library of someone's very antique oud collection. You could smell that this particular oud, and I'm going to kind of refer to an oud that I've smelled before, that is one that is very ancient, that I've smelled. It's a fragrance on the market by Dessert, and it's Kiara. Kiara Oud is a 33 milliliter bottle of perfume that goes for about not $1,600, but $1,060, something like that. I was very interested and am very interested in putting that particular perfume in my collection. The smell, when I did smell that particular scent, it always captured me and captivated me because of the oud note that was in it, that was very much so, as I've stated with this one. It has this conjuring notion of walking through a very damp, wooded forest while wearing your favorite perfume. That one's a little more brighter, a lot more brighter than this one, but I smell that same particular style of oud. So I can tell that what they've actually stated, I feel as though this is not something that's a gimmick or anything understated. This is true enough that they have found a very antiquity style of oud. The development on this one, that's the one that gets me the best about this one, because with Vanille Havane, the original scent, you always get a beautiful development on the skin. You always get something that is a notion of differencing throughout the 3-hour time span before it gets to the base. It's very sweet, it's very cozy, it's very seductive. Women love it on my skin, women love it on all our skins when we wear this particular scent. It's a very attractive fragrance, very alluring. What the oud does for me here, the wearability of this one does take a kickback, because the oud, if someone is not interested or attractive to the way oud smell, the oud of this is very prominent. It's a part of the perfume that they made prominent like they promised. And so the oud can be a bit of a drawback. If they don't like the skanky barnyard ouds, or if they don't like the medicinal style of ouds, it has those combination with a little bit of rosy tint and a lot of you know, the leathery style of oud. So if they're not someone that likes that, they won't like this perfume, even though it's veiling the actual Vanille Havane. Now that's the beautiful thing about that for oud lovers. For someone who does have intrigue for certain type of fragrances, like I said, you can very much so connect to this emotionally. It communicates a very lustful emotion. It is one that is warm, it's enveloping, it's opulent, it's soft, it's velvety. It can also be a scent that is awakening to certain senses of yourself that is intoxicating. When you spray this on the neck and someone is drawn to that, they won't let you go. They will hold on to you as the wearer of this perfume and very much so clamor to you. The projection on this one is what I love also, because the projection, just like Vanille Havane, is one that's a mile long. The sillage is grand. You spray this one on. If you are an oud lover like myself, it's very attractive in its sillage. It's very much so one that you will pick up the Vanille Havane inside of it if you aren't aware of what Vanille Havane smells like. If you love what cocoa smells like, the cacao of Vanille Havane, you will pick that up in the air, and it is one that is attractive and alluring. It's one that covers the basis of most perfumes for the deep cool to cold weather. And when I say deep cool, I'm talking about like a high of 50 and below. This is one I don't think I will be wearing until it gets to the winter time. And so that seasonality does take a hit as well, because the wearability and seasonality is going to be very distinctive to a wintertime fragrance for me. So that versatility takes a knock. But when it comes to this particular scent, I'm going to rate this very high because I am an oud lover. I am, of course, a Vanille Havane lover. That is in the top 10 of my fragrances of all time. And so I'm going to rate this particular fragrance very high. So to me, the scent profile is going to be one of excellence. The actual wearability may take a knock. The presentation, of course, is going to take a knock. The sillage and projection is going to rate very high. At the end of the day, it's going to be a very high rated fragrance for me. I'm going to put that as my rating graph at the end of the actual video, so you'll be able to see that and how I rate it in my numerical numbering system. But at the end of the day, this is a very beautiful rendition of Vanille Havane. It is powerful. It is, I wouldn't say it's earth-shattering, because it does have that Vanille Havane scent. So if you smell that, you have smelled something like this before. So the uniqueness, while having that oud accord is very expensive, the uniqueness is not that, it's not super unique, because you do smell this oud over Vanille Havane, but as a scent, it is beautifully done with the oud accord over the Vanille Havane. To me, I think that all these things accommodate to a beautiful scent profile that is true to its nature, to something that they sought to put out for the market as an exclusive oud-based fragrance, and they nailed it with this one. I hope that you guys have learned something from this particular scent profile and scent video. Like I stated, I'm going to leave the graphic at the end, but at the end of the day, as I've stated twice before, this is a emotional connecting fragrance. It's cognitive of carnal emotions. It has this sexy, sensual depth to it, the rosy profile of the oud. I want to keep iterating how the oud comes across in this one. It's rosy, it's leathery, it's powdery, it's slightly medicinal, slightly skanky and dank. It is a true to life oud accord that I smelled in very expensive ouds. Even some of, if you guys are familiar with Russian Adam and his leather accords, he has some of the best leathery oud accords out there, and this one has that style inside of it as well. So if you're a fan of those styles of oud where they're just slightly medicinal, slightly skanky, but very earthy, dank, wet, damp, but sexy, sensual, you're going to love the way this one smells. So at the end of the day, this is and has been the scent of Vanille Havane Coeur De Oud for the dry down. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my video for you guys today. Today, my scent of the day is actually one I can't wait to get another connoisseur's conversation out to you guys. This is Les Lions by the House of Chanel. So it's Les Lions de Chanel. This is a beautiful ambery leather fragrance that I can't wait to get a conversation out to you guys very soon. But for the video of Coeur De Oud Vanille Havane, I hope you guys got something entertaining and educational as always. And if you did, all that I ever ask that you do is hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell icon so that you will be notified each and every time I upload a video. Leave a comment below of what you think and thought of this particular video, or if you have actually procured a actual flacon of Coeur De Oud, let me know what you think. Let me know if I hit it on the head with the actual leathery feel, the camphoric feel, the evergreen sweetness, and the actual veiling of the overall scent of Vanille Havane as its original compounded scent was. And I'm loving it. So if you guys are interested in this one and you want to go out and get a very well done oud fragrance that no one else is around you're going to smell like, I mean, it's just that simple. This is one to pick up. So until next time and until next video, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you there. Peace.